Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. AI isn't magic. It's built on the back of real people, real data, and often real exploitation. While big tech continues to profit from centralized black box systems, a new generation of founders is flipping the model from enterprise AI in the Gulf to community-driven training programs. Today's guest is building an AI economy where you control the data and share the rewards. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today, Johanna Cabildo, CEO of Data Guardians Network. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here, and I do appreciate you for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming on to the pod today. First of all, you've worked on massive AI deployments, right? So my research says Saudi Aramco, Cisco. When did you click that something was broken in how AI is built?
Yeah, so for me, I feel like it clicked when I saw just how much of a system depended on invisible labor and unverifiable data. So you're in these boardrooms. Imagine this. They're talking about these billion-dollar models, but no one can answer basic questions like, where did the data come from and who labeled it? So after that, I feel like it just became clear that, so many of these companies, so many people are scaling systems with no trust foundation, right? It's not just an issue. This is literally a systematic failure in how AI value is created and distributed. That might seem a little intense, but unfortunately, I feel like that is the reality.
So why do you think we are not talking about it anymore? That Gen AI is basically powered by scraped content and unpaid labor. I mean, that's essentially what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I feel like your intro, you did an incredible job just introing on the podcast, but I do have to agree with you. I feel like it threatens a myth. Generative AI is just marketed as this genius level leap forward, almost like it is magic. But when you look under the hood, it's built on data that no one consented to share and labor that no one really wants to acknowledge. So it's not exactly convenient to say that your billion-dollar model is standing on the shoulders of unpaid workers. But again, that is the reality. And I think part of our role at DGen is to make that truth visible. And obviously doing that without shaming the industry, and essentially just raising the bar.
Okay, so you talked about your work at DGen. For those that don't know or haven't, maybe it's the first time that they hear about it, what exactly is it and how does it work?
Yeah, for sure. And so right now we have a decentralized gamified annotation network. So this is
whoa, those are big words. You need to break that
very,
down for
very
me.
big words.
Yeah.
So as all of the problems I mentioned prior to, there are so many unpaid labor forces. You have all these people that are contributing to these bigger models, but no one's getting paid for it. So taking a step back and realizing, okay, how do we build on a foundation where we can actually get people to monetize their own digital footprint and own it? We decided, okay, decentralization is clearly the answer for that. And in terms of annotation, what most people don't recognize is the fact that all of these AI models, like 80% of it goes towards the annotation process, more or less. And to be able to label these data points and, just engage with that side of the value chain, my company decided that we were going to do it in a gamified way. So instead of just saying, "Okay, you're coming to work and you have to focus on this task and sit there like a mindless monkey," we decided to make it fun. And obviously, there's been so many studies that when things are gamified, people tend to retain information a lot better. People tend to obviously enjoy their work. They find it more purposeful and obviously produce better outcomes. That helped to answer your question.
Yeah, yeah. So, what would a typical user, let's say I want to become part of a network, what would I do? Like, what would that process be like?
So currently, right now, we are
Yeah.
live in a closed beta.
Okay,
Right
cool.
now, I think for us, the biggest thing is actually perfecting the platform. We have really ambitious goals. Like, for instance, one of the biggest goals for me personally is to build the largest community-owned data engine in the world. But in
Okay.
order to do that, I don't want to throw people onto a platform where it's clunky and they're not happy with the overall experience. So we're constantly testing. We're constantly evolving and changing the platform, especially within our closed beta. Again, we are just really iterating off of the feedback for now, but we do have a waitlist open. So if this is something that people are interested in, by all means, please feel free to join the waitlist. And when we decide to open the doors and we're happy with where the platform is, then we're more than happy to welcome you as well.
Okay, so do you actually own your own data? Is it on a server? Does DGen own it? Like, how does that work? And how do you envisage users getting rewarded for that data?
Yeah, so being a data creator for us personally, it means you're no longer just fueling someone else's algorithm. So you're shaping the next generation of intelligence. So with us personally, we decided that the contributor owns the data. That's a non-negotiable. At DGen, your data doesn't just disappear into a vault. It's attributed to you on chain, and at any time your model is used on a model or a license, you're compensated. And so this isn't theoretical. We've actually built it into our systems. You can trace your impact, measure your value, and get paid in a stable digital currency. So instead of having to participate in a play to earn model where you have to worry about the volatility, we've decided to focus primarily on paying out in a stable digital currency to make sure people have that at the back of their minds. Okay, I can participate and know that I'm getting something that's actually attributed to a real world asset. And yeah, because it's using blockchain, there's no guesswork, no gatekeeping, and it's all verifiable. But in the long run, we do hope to launch a potential coin as well for those who are interested in the volatility and potential rewards, and also when it comes down to the more gamified side of our platform, having access to the coin and participating with it, it just allows us to unlock more opportunities for our users.
Yeah, so basically, you've worked in both corporate and decentralized environments. What's the biggest mind shift change for you when it comes to data and ownership?
Yeah. So basically, when it comes down to it, I feel like it's a completely different model going from
Mm,
one to the other. I feel like on the more corporate side, people are seen more as a product
yeah.
rather than someone who actually has a seat at the table. And obviously, when it comes down to more decentralized communities, like actual ownership is a must, it's a priority. If you look at the web evolution, for instance, Web 1 gave us info, Web 2 gave us connection, and Web 3 gave us ownership. So you really see the empowerment shift once people are focused on Web 3. They're more community driven, they're more for the transparency, and they're definitely more for the fairness.
Have you seen the AI generated deepfakes yet? Looking at something like Google's VO3 and similar models coming out. How scary is that?
It's so scary. It's so cool, but so scary. I, the thing is, again, with the whole shift, looking at all of these products, looking at, all of these companies coming out with these new things, I find it so fascinating, but at the same time, so frightening because, on an ethical standpoint, sorry, from a creative standpoint,
Yeah.
first and foremost, I'm sitting there, I'm geeking out. Possibilities are endless. And it's so exciting to know that, anything you can imagine and like you can really sit there and conceptualize it and bring it to life within minutes at some with some platforms. However, if we take a step back on the ethical side, it really makes you ask the question like, where were these models trained? And if this was trained on something that we appreciate from our past, let's say this was a cartoon from our childhood, theoretically, when we first generate these images, we're thinking, oh my gosh, we now have this connection to something that we grew up with. It's very nostalgic for us. But at the same time, the original artists, the original people who crafted these illustration, the artwork, the media, they're not getting compensated. And not to say that these bigger giants need to always get their compensation. Sorry, not to say that these bigger giants need the extra money, but when it comes down to zooming into the lens with these smaller artists, it's only one person versus the world. And so they have no one to kind of fall back on. They don't have that extra capital. You have so much talent. And yet sometimes if they're focused more on their art, I've met artists where they're so passionate about what they do that they would rather skip a meal that just so they can afford like extra art supplies. And you have to look at it where, again, there are so many people who are artists and who are contributors, but they're not actually getting compensated.
That's a very poignant point to make and place to leave it off. As Sam Altman, as we joke in the AI circles, he says, thank you so much for your donation, not investment, donation. Johanna, thank you so much for joining me today and enlightening me about the Degen Network. If the listeners want to go and connect with you and find out what it is that you do, get involved in the beta, where can they go and connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to connect with us on social media. Again, thank you so much for having me, first and foremost. But yeah, if this is something that you may want to be a part of and you want to join the shift early, you need to know that you don't need a technical background to contribute. You need curiosity, contacts, a smartphone, and Wi-Fi. So at Degen, we're just creating pathways to get people in early and really grow with the industry. So it's very possible for you to take a one-sided course, but at that point, you won't really have the experience until you're really in the mud. So in my
Just
personal
get involved.
opinion,
Just get involved.
get involved. So one of the best parts of the platform is actually getting paid to learn. So again, look forward to connecting with you all and do appreciate you for having me on.
And we'll put all the links in the comments here somewhere where my finger can't go. And to our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. And we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.